my goodness. It's that time again. We're back here with another TIMBP Live. Welcome in, everybody. Oh, I'm so excited for tonight. Thank you all so much for being here. If you're here because of last week's crazy, the craziness that was Matt Madness last week, welcome. I'm Perry. Thank you all so much for being here. We officially, oh shoot, you know what I don't have? I totally forgot about this. I'm sorry. There it is. Oh, and it's not been updated yet. Let's check on that. But Matt Madness, man. Matt Madness was crazy. And I'm so thankful that Matt Porter gave me that opportunity to show people. For some reason, the subscriber count is wrong on the page, but we are officially over 800 subscribers here on the YouTube page. Cannot believe it. Thank you all so much. If you're watching on the replay, thank you for watching on the replay. If you're here live, thank you. I love you guys so much. This is crazy. Cannot believe that we are that much closer to 1,000 people. Man. Will Henderson, Donnie, and Trev Wilson are blue wrenches for tonight. Robot Scott, Joseph Brazo, Brian Brenicky, Tammy, I'm assuming, is somewhere in here too. Sugar Kitty, hello, Darren Wright, Sugar Kitty again, Wesley Zeller, Don Nishida, who's going to maybe be in later. That's cool. Thank you all so much. Appreciate you guys. Y'all are the best. We've got our first Snuffy Chat of the evening. By the way, Snuffy Chats is how you support the show. We have a tipping system that is not yet set up here on YouTube, which is normally like, Super Chats. But instead, it's Snuffy Chats in support of Mr. Snuffleupagus, our main man, who is still hanging up on the bourbon cabinet. He has not made his way down just yet, unfortunately, but it is what it is. But he'll be here soon. John T., welcome as well. But Mr. Brian Brenicky with the first Snuffy Chat of the evening. 888. Freaking A, man. Is that awesome? Awesome indeed. Okay. Well, that was a good clunker of a cheers. But if you do donate through the link below in the Stream Elements link, Donnie also just put it in the chat. Sounds good, Brian. Sounds good. It'll show up here on screen. I hope, at least. I think it will. But But seriously, thank you all so much for being here. Looks like the stream's looking pretty good, too. I'm not upset about that. What's everybody drinking on tonight? I started out with some... what did I start with? Started with WB Saffel, 107 proof bourbon. They are just about done with that bad boy. And whatever is on the shelf is all that there is left. So if you see some, go buy it up. Go buy it up for sure. Let me just get things moving along. Sorry. See if I can't get these here stream elements a little bit more updated with the correct subscriber count. There it is. 802. Now you can see it. Oh, yes. Look at that beautiful round 802 subscribers. Thank you all so much. This is just so cool. Cannot believe that we have gotten there so quickly. We started out Matt Madness, the bracket challenge, with about 680 subscribers. So that means that we gained 120 in just less than a week. That's one of our biggest jumps ever. And so I'm psyched. I'm super pumped about that. And I cannot believe that we have made such amazing progress since then, and we're just going to keep going up. onwards and upwards, baby. That's all we can do. So pretty soon, we'll be looking at 1,000. I just know it. This is Bourbon Country wants to send me a message on Instagram. Should we read it live? Oh, he replied with 100. He's just excited. Awesome. Here we go. Indeed, Dustin Whitaker. What's up, buddy? Man with the plan. Yes, please hit that like button. Subscribe to all y'all in here are subscribed already. I don't have to tell you to subscribe. You know, that's just nuts. That's just nuts. Who's ever heard of such a crazy thing? I want to crack something maybe pre-read before reading live. Yeah, it was all good. It was all good. I wanted to crack something here. Send me a message on it. Yeah, everybody send me a message on Instagram. I'll read the questions out live here on air. That's the equivalent of somebody in class holding the calculator upside down so it spells boobies. Like, so yesterday, and we'll be talking. Out of the airport on COVID duty. Whiskey Mutant, I don't know who that is, asked, want to collab? I mean, sure, Whiskey Mutant. I don't know who the heck you are. You're probably not a really super cool dude who lives here in Lexington, but yeah, collabing sounds fun. So yesterday, I got to go to the Evan Williams experience in Louisville, as well as Rabbit Hole Distillery. You're going to hear the conversation about Rabbit Hole on next week's episode of the podcast. But the Evan Williams experience, I'll talk about a little bit today, but more in depth as well for next week's episode. They unveiled their first product that had ever been bottled and barreled, that had been distilled at the Evan Williams experience. Sorry, I kind of danced around that. But it's called Square 6. It's 85, not 85 anything, 95 proof, 35% rye in the mash bill. It's a high rye bourbon. Got to try it for the first time. Just crazy stuff. And we'll talk about it more on next week's episode. But I also went and did a little bit of hunting as well, just the smallest little bit, and found I'm very, very excited about this. See if we can get it to focus here on screen. Nope, Swan's face is in the way. Swan, your face is in the way, buddy. Get your face out of the way. Come on. Ugh, whatever. It's a 12-year Liquorborn Elijah Craig barrel pick. So same thing, 94 proof. The Linux cat. Thank you, Donnie. I appreciate that. But yeah, so 94 proof, just like Elijah Craig always is, 12 years old. So it's essentially, is Mike from Monsters, Inc. a beholder? I don't want to get into the ins and outs of Mike's status here, but there's a good chance. Hello, Trev Wilson, the handsomest man in all of bourbon. Scott Pigsley, what's up with you, buddy? Good to see you. There's a good number of y'all in the chat tonight. Dang. Super happy about that. Eric Black, good evening to you as well, my man. Great seeing you. Oh, I got to move this out of the way. That was supposed to be a conversation piece for later. I was going to put that up there. We're going to be reviewing this here as well. Kentucky Owl Batch 10 later on in the episode. But anyway, wanted to crack open this Elijah Craig pick because I love Elijah Craig. Figured it was appropriate to open at least something new for tonight's stream. Also, after tonight's stream, we can go over, hang out with the guys at the podcast. They're going to be chatting with Chad and Sarah and ADHD Whiskey, who put on Matt Madness. And I think Brian Brennecke said, Matt Madness is great to get more exposure. I'm like Switzerland, though, since so many of my favorite people are up against each other. I just like to mess with all of you. I will speak to the Joseph. I'm seeing 16 likes, 17 likes now. Maybe refresh the page there, bro. I don't know. I'm just saying. But let's talk about Matt Madness for a second, and that craziness, that madness, as it were. But I am first and foremost super thankful that Matt asked me to be a part of it, and that I got the opportunity to show up and show off some of my bourbon tasting skills, of course. Wasn't exactly. I didn't do as well as I had hoped to, just in terms of naming and hitting the nail on the head. But in the end, I did win, and I think that's, I'm not upset about that by any means. Very crazy that I got to go up against Sarah and that I was able to win against Sarah from its Bourbon Night. And I'm just excited for the next round, and I'm going up against Clifton. It's not going to be easy either, but I'm really excited and I'm confident, and I think I went from the underdog to kind of being the one to watch at the moment. Nick Foles, KO batch 9 or KO batch 10, which one is the better batch in your opinion? Let me come back to that here in a little bit. Bourbon Battalion, Bobby, I missed you. I'm sorry about that. Did not see that you were in here. Good to see you, man. Appreciate you being here. So, because we have so many new people in the chat, I wanted to or subscribing. And by the way, there's a bunch of y'all in here tonight. I really appreciate that. Just send Clifton a ton of Fireball first. I think that's going to be my best way to succeed, is if we get him greasy before the actual competition. So that's a shoe-in for me, honestly. Because if you guys watched that live stream, by the end, he was feeling real good. He was having a good time. Yes, welcome new folks, indeed. Thank you, Donnie. So, because there's so many new folks, I figured I would kind of introduce you all to some of the stuff in my collection, and I wanted to do a top 5. I think that's the easiest way to kind of discuss this. And it's not necessarily my favorite bottles or based on what's inside. Sometimes it's memories associated with some of them. I've got one kind of special mention. Hello, Jim Morris. Good to see you. Thank you for being around. Emily Chambers as well. Great to have everybody in. But it is just kind of one of those fun things to do. Just share stuff with you people. And I just kind of talk about who I am and give you little introductions to me. Some of y'all already know these stories, but for the people who are new, was it the Fireball or the White Claw? It was a combination of both, to be honest. They were working in tandem with each other to bring Clifton to his knees by that point. But good stuff, man. Good stuff. So yeah, let's start off with my honorable mention. And this is one. Where'd it go? See, this is the problem. If you're new, I never can tell where anything is. There it is. All right. Okay, cool. I don't know why it did. So this one is my honorable mention solely because of how enamored I have been with this product over the past year and how I have a hard time staying away from it. And I've had to just kind of say, wait until the right time to break it out again. So honorable mention, best bourbon of 2020, Knob Creek Cask Strength 12 year. This particular one, let's see if it focused, is 124.3 proof. Swan's still keeping us from getting focused. But yeah, I love this bottle. I think it's extremely well crafted. And I think that if you can find it, floor bottles are a blessing, Joe. They definitely are. But if you can find it, this is a must buy for me. Great, easy drinker, even at the higher proof. That 12-year age statement really helps round out some of the sharper corners that can be present. Bill Robarge. Hello, Bill, our buddy from Beer Lovers of Wisconsin. Good old Midwestern boy. Said, I'm chugging Bourbon County. That's wild. Trev's still trying to get one of the dang cask knobs. If I'm such a sucker for them, and I have a hard time passing them up if I find them. Which is one of the reasons that I pulled it out. And I wanted to, I figured I'd do this next one. So this is, it's top 5 in no particular order. So I'm just kind of talking about bottles that I have that I look at and I have a really fond association with. Also, I haven't had this Elijah Craig yet, so I think I would like to try some of this Elijah Craig 94 proof 12-year-old Liquor Barn store pick. Oh, mama. That smells like it used to. That is very similar to how Elijah Craig smelled when the age statement was still present. That is fantastic. Hmm. It doesn't drink quite like it does. I mean, this is just a first crack pour. But it's delicious, man. That is so good. Oh, nice long finish. Eric Black just found out his pick of Old Pepper Rye is inbound. Very nice. Very nice indeed. Old Pepper Rye is good stuff, man. That was one of my my honorable mentions for last year for best bourbons. Or ryes, I guess. Because it's a rye. So this, in my first entry into my top 5, is a very special bottle that I was so kindly and generously gifted by your friend and mine. Hello, Heather Starkey. Matt Porter. Speaking of ADHD whiskey. Oh, I just got a catch in my neck. And I wanted to talk about this bottle because it just goes to show how special and welcoming and just gracious this community is. I'm going to talk about that once I get to the Kentucky Owl review as well. But we were finishing up. Hello? Are we back yet? Ah, there we are. Right? Are we back? Okay. We're good. We're good. We're back. We've lost the overlay for the browser thing that shows you. Ah, well. I didn't fall asleep. I'm back. Dang it. Anyway. Great group of people in this chat. You are totally right there, Bill Robarsh. Oh, goodness gracious. Goodness gracious me. But yeah, we're back. If the overlay is causing the issue, we can live without it. Yeah. This is not where I moved to Instagram. Not doing that. A likely story. I was doing my house beat again. Fair enough. Yeah. So we were finishing up recording the first episode that Porter was on when we talked about his Old Charter project, and Beagle Rare, and he presented me with this beautiful decanter. It is a beaver who is indeed chomping wood. It's a 12-year Ezra Brooks. I don't know why I keep showing it to the camera. It's not actually light it or doesn't matter. From 1972. So this is very cool, and not only a decanter that I love to have in my collection, but a bottle that I love having around as well. And it was that, oh, thank you, Brian. It is a nice beaver. But it, again, just goes to show the kindness and the generosity of the bourbon community. And it's a group of people that I wouldn't have any other way. And, you guys are very much a part of that. Sorry. I'm trying to close out of stuff just in case that's what's causing the issue here. But don't save. Just don't save. It's totally fine. Um, anyway, sorry. Yeah, just goes to show how great this community is. What is happening? Check, check. It does kind of seem to be an issue, doesn't it, Donnie? Yeah, there we go. I was quiet because I wasn't sure what was happening. I apologize. I very much apologize. But I closed out of some stuff. I think I had a couple of things that were Kentucky internet is the worst, legitimately. But I think I had a couple of things that were over overworking my camera. But if this camera dies again, we'll just switch over to the computer one. But I've spent a lot of money on equipment that doesn't work recently, so fun stuff. Oh well. Let's talk about the next bottle. Why don't we? So, this was a very recent pickup, and I was sincerely floored when I won this, and I won it just in a little fireball. I played just because I wanted to, and thought maybe I'd win it, and sure enough, I did. It's a Four Roses OBSQ pick that actually pays tribute to Stan Lee. You can't really see it, but it says Excelsior, and it was picked in his honor. Can I help you, Knox? Can I help you with something? Cat's now distracting me. Um, but it was picked by Bluegrass Tavern here in Lexington, bottled January 2019, so been sitting around for a couple of years. 9 years, 9 months. That high rye mash bill from Four Roses as well. And I'm a big comic book nerd. I have been for most of my life at this point. And Stan Lee has just always been a hero of mine. And when I was able to pick up this bottle, when I won this bottle, truly, with Stan Lee's face on it, it meant a lot. And I have something that I can finally drink in memory of him, and something that I feel is a fitting tribute to the man, the myth, the legend. And to that I say, Excelsior. So I'm actually going to pour a little bit of this. I haven't had it in just over a week. But man, it's delicious. That Four Roses is so good, dude. Oh, freaking love it. Or Elijah Craig, not Four Roses. This is Four Roses. I'm struggling. I'm a little nervous. I think I'm just a little nervous because stuff keeps happening to the stream, but also because of how many new folks there are in here. But I love you guys. Thank you all so much. I'm super appreciative of you all being here. So yeah, if you're new, I do this every Thursday night. So yeah, and I've got some other stuff coming your way on YouTube, some actual videos and whatnot. And I need to get back to uploading the podcast here again. Joseph Fraser, I would love to come over and see your Amazing Fantasy 15, which for anybody who doesn't know is the original debut of one Spider-Man. And this is actually my little Spider-Man tribute Funko Pop that I debuted on a live a few weeks ago. And he had a stand on his back, but as you can see, it broke. And so now he's propping up in my whiskey gallery glass. So that's fun. Yeah, Amazing Fantasy 15. That was the comic book that Spider-Man first appeared in 1963? 63 or 64. I think it was 63. Anyway. Oh, that's good. That is a beautiful Four Roses nose. I actually cracked this with Chad from its bourbon night last week. Was that last week? Dang. These weeks are flying by. I had to sincerely stop myself today and confirm that last Friday was Matt Madness. And I had to step backwards and do math in my head. Way more math than I should have had to do. And it was I was surprised and shocked that it was just last Friday. That just the whole daggum, I say month, but we're only 6 days in. But over the past couple of weeks, they've all just kind of blended together. So kids do kind of do that to you. Also, staying very, very busy with multiple jobs also does that to you. So. Is it August 62? I didn't realize it was 62. I thought it was 63 or 64, as I just said. But fair enough, man. Also, I say fair enough. I don't mean that in a disagreeing way. I trust you. People make fun of me. Say fair enough too much. I say, I know I do. But it's only because it's my filler phrase. So. Goku turned Super Saiyan for the first time on episode 95 of Dragon Ball Z. There you go. Woo! 32 people in here! Goodness gracious. That's a lot for me on this Thursday night. Man, y'all who subscribed have really shown up. Thank you all so much. Appreciate it. Like button, tips in the description below. All that good stuff. Swan smiles every time you send a tip. And I appreciate it. So, thank you guys. Thank you. We're working our way towards super chats, of course. But, yeah, we don't quite have them yet, as you can tell. But we are working on it. And soon enough, to be fair. That's another good one. Smash that like. And make Swan smile. Every time a tip is donated to This Is My Bourbon Podcast Live, a swan gets its wings. Back to you, Perry. You like swan smiles? Swan smiles are the best, man. They're the best. All right, shall we move into number 3 in my top 5 favorite bottles that I own? And again, not in any particular order, just bottles that I love that I have in my collection. Bill, I do owe you a date. I need to talk to you about that. So this one... Do I have all my bottles? Yeah, I do. This one is incredibly special to me, and one that I never thought I would own a bottle of. And this goes back to the generosity of the community. And as you can kind of tell, a lot of what I'm talking about here is the generosity of the community. Will Henderson with the $5 Snuffy Chat, and Todd Koopa with the $20 Snuffy Chat as well. Cheers for both of you guys. Cheers all around. My goodness. Appreciate you all. Trev Wilson wants a date? You can absolutely have one, my friend. And you can have one for free. That's not true. I'm kind of expensive. Todd Koopa is in the chat as well. Thank you, Todd Koopa. Golden Nugget bottle? Kind of. So, back towards the end of last year, I got to sit down with, crap. Nah, look like a turd. How do we send Snuffy Chats? There's a few ways to do that, Bill. There are links in the description below. There's one that is a Stream Elements link that's a straight tipping line that goes right to me. But also, if you can do it through PayPal, Venmo, and the Cash App. All those links are available down below. But my goodness, look at all the freaking people who are in here. Y'all are going to make me cry. You're going to absolutely make me cry. So, my brain's not working. There we go. All right. So, I got to sit down with the founder of Steel Bending Spirits, Neil Giraldo. And Neil, I'm so sorry that I forgot your name for a second, man. It's been a very long week, and Dad Brain is totally taken over my existence at the moment. But so that's the company that founded Three Chord Bourbon. And the conversation came up towards the end of the podcast recording about Whiskey Drummer, which is their high-end product, and a bottle that he said was made for people who sit down with friends and family to sip and enjoy and just have a good time with each other. Tammy Brennicky, hello, Tammy. It's good to see you. And I said, that's exactly what I do with my dad. That's, I've got my love of bourbon from him. It's very much a family thing. We always have something new that we want to share with each other. And sure enough, he said, well, this is the perfect product for you. And I, at that point, had not tried it. And I said, I would love to try some. And he said, we'll certainly send you some to try. Everybody had been getting samples of it up to that point, and I was fortunate enough to get a full bottle of Three Chord Whiskey Drummer sent by none other than Neil Giraldo, Pat Benatar's husband, founder of Steel Bending Spirits, Three Chord Bourbon. And it just blew me away when I pulled this one out of the mail, and I freaked out, man. I really did. But it's great. It's one of my favorite bottles from last year. 117.9 proof on batch 1. Only 1,080 bottles out there. I'd say ultra premium. I mean, it's it's expensive. I mean, it's not cheap. It's not cheap. But Neil, always and forever, thank you so much for sending me this bottle, man. Holds much significance in my little Pear Bear brain. The Bear Heart? Ooh, Amelia Bearhart. There's a good character for something. I don't know what, but Bill Robarge with the $25 Snuffy Chat. My goodness. Bill, thank you. Cheers to you, my friend. Tony Bag of Donuts. Don't cry, Perry. I enjoyed the podcast this week. I mean, every week, of course, but when will Swan be back? I am not entirely sure at the moment. Swan and I have kind of been circling around our schedules, trying to figure out when we're going to be able to sit back down together again. He was out of town basically all last week, and so we just weren't able to make it work. And I've already got next week's episode recorded, so hopefully the week after that. But at the moment, it's just kind of up in the air. He'll be back, I promise. But next week, you get like my full interview back in action again. And it's a great episode. I recorded it with Adam Edwards from Rabbit Hole Distilling. And great time. Really, really good time. You guys are going to enjoy that episode a whole lot. Daniel Kerber, what's up, everyone? What's up with you, Daniel Kerber? And also, welcome in Tony Bag of Donuts. Joey Tony Bag of Donuts. Amelia Bearhart, one of the Berenstain Bears. Is it Steen or Stein? Or Stain? Or Sting? Berenstain Bears. There's a Mandela effect for you. Is they were always a member of Sting's family. We just never knew it. So. Trev Adam is a great guy. He absolutely is. He is, I'm fortunate to be able to call that man a friend. I mean, we were very quick friends with each other. And, you know, he's just another part of the welcoming, generous community. So. All right. Next bottle. This is the only bottle of bourbon that's not on this list. And it means it truly means a lot to me. Yeah, it is staying. I know. But so a few weeks back, and again, it's another recent pickup, but it's one that I hold very dearly. A few weeks back, I was in Total Wine, going to see Swan, going to pick up a few bottles. And I just casually mentioned, hey, be on the lookout for my daughter's birthday. He, of course, knows it. But she was born last October. And I've got one bottle, but I'm trying to, hold off on it, of course. I just want to have more bunkered away. And he said, okay, sure, I'll keep an eye out. And I just went over and I just wanted to go look and see if they had anything in particular with dates on them. And I found this Jack Daniel's single barrel proof that actually had the date when it was bottled, which was when my grandmother passed away last year, and she was my last grandparent. So it was crazy that I was able to find a bottle with this date on it. It's not exactly what I went in for, but it certainly was one that I couldn't have been upset about when I left with it. And I've got a few of these bunkered away. I've got one open at the moment. Great. I love Jack Daniel's single barrel proof. I really do. I know that I'm going anti-Kentucky with that, but it's just a great product. And I'm happy to have something that is so solid and so brash and abrasive as well. Which is very much the kind of person that my grandmother was as well, but gentle at heart, of course. It's 133 proof. Genuinely a great bottle and a fitting tribute to my last grandparent. So, yeah, had to bunker a few of those away, of course. And we'll bring it back round to something a little bit happier, of course. And this is... Oh, that's right. I put it over here because I had to take it down. So last March, of course, is when things started to go downhill with the pandemic. And it was the last time that I did a big thing with a big group of friends, a big group of people. It was Whiskey Weekend Batch 2. And since I went to the first one, Dustin knows this story, of course. And he, myself, Bob Little, and Travis Gintz, also known as Cletus, all went to Wild Turkey the first year. And cracked open a bottle of WB Saffel and drank it all out on the porch together because it was that good. And so last year, we all went in on a bottle together. We all signed it. It was Kentucky Spirit, and we agreed that the next time that we're all together, we're gonna finish the bottle, and we'll be at Wild Turkey on that patio as well. But I hold this bottle very near and dear. It's a great single barrel of Wild Turkey Kentucky Spirit. One of my favorite bottles in my collection, and one that I protect very heavily. But as you can see, love very dearly based on the product that is in the bottle. So there you have it. That's my top 5 favorite bottles that I own. And again, not always about what's in the bottle, but memories associated with it, or the people, or stuff like that. And if that gives you all some sort of a sense of who I kind of am as a person, then, you know, that's what's most important to me. And I hope that you guys enjoy the podcast here in the future as well. I'm super excited for the amount of subscribers that we've gotten, but more important, what I'm excited about is how great this community is and how big it is getting. We're growing so quickly and it's blowing me away. We've got so much good stuff coming up in the future as well. And I cannot wait for you guys to see it all. But sincerely, thank you so much for being here. Welcome to the community. We're not done yet with the night either, though. I still got a review I'm going to do here in a minute. Lyle Shock? I don't know. A lot of people wanted Sarah to win because we know her and did not know you, but we obviously enjoyed getting to know you. You did great, and now we are here to get to know you better. Win it all. Lyle, thank you so much, man. It's funny because I've always kind of, I've got the podcast. The podcast has been going for 3.5 years, of course. But as far as the YouTube community, I've kind of been circling around some of it. And I just, now we're up to 40 people. Can we get to 50 before the end of the stream? I would love to get to 50 before the end of the stream. Trev, he won't win it all because I will. Well, friendly competition is the best, right? I'm not good with Smack Talk. But Chris, all the way in down under, along with Lil. Lil was in here earlier. Bubble Bath Bourbon, where's the mellow corn? Behind the bar at the moment. Old Man Joe, congrats, Perry. Congrats to you, Old Man Joe. I don't know what for, but just because. May as well say congrats. Bottle Chug at 50. Yeah, sure, why not? Papa Ritter's in the house. What up, Papa Ritter? Joseph, love the quote. That was perfect. Hey, thank you all so much for being here. Let's get into this review so we can all join together over at the podcasts live with Chad and Sarah. So we are drinking on tonight a little bit of Kentucky Owl Batch 10 Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey. So I'll give a little bit of background, and I figured that most of the picks, where's Barn Door and his bots? He'll get you to 5,000. I would love to be at 5,000. That would be a dream come true. Getting to 5,000 on here or the subscribers or whatever. It is climbing, Bubble Bath. You're not wrong. Brian, I'm looking forward to Perry versus Clifton. I'm going to try my best this weekend to talk Clifton into some smack talk. Well, we'll do our best. I can't remember who said it, but they had the idea of us both kind of smack talking each other, but it's all compliments just in an aggressive tone. I think that's really good. Next round, I need to have a Perry chant a la Jerry Springer. That's funny. That is very funny. I love that. 43, dadgummit. Man, keeping on climbing. So I figured this was an appropriate bottle to do a review of, especially as this is a lot of new people in here, and I get to tell some stories that people might not know. And one of the big things that I like to talk about is, of course, the generosity in the community, which I've talked about already. And one of the people who has always been extremely generous and kind to me is Dixon Deadman from Kentucky Owl. And recently, he and I were talking about me getting a sample of Kentucky Owl Batch 10 for review on the podcast. And I opened the door the next week to a FedEx package that was much larger than it should have been for a sample. And sure enough, it was a full bottle of Kentucky Owl Batch 10. And it just blew me away. He is an Extremely awesome dude, Trev. Bubble bath. That's pretty much exactly how that would sound. That's almost exactly how that would sound, to be fair. Jake Miller, it will clearly be a babyface match with Perry and Clifton. Heel turn. If anybody's going to turn heel, it's probably going to be Clifton. I don't know. Maybe. I'm not an angry person. I'm also really bad at acting. So I couldn't even act like I'm mean. Dustin does have a great story about Dixon that he needs to tell in some capacity. But the nose. Nose is ridiculous on this one. One of the most genuine people you've ever met, Todd. Fantastic human. Fantastic human indeed. I can't speak enough to how kind and cool and awesome he is. And, you know, the nose is so full of cherries and brown sugar. It's actually kind of like, it's not acting, it's scripted. Okay, all right. Hey, man. That's fair. Cliffy can talk smack. Clifton, no. That's fair. So the nose on batch 10 is kind of a departure from most of the Kentucky Owl products, I feel like. It's still got some of the roundness and the sweetness that is usually present with Kentucky Owl. But in this case, it seems to be a little bit sharper around the edges. Really, really viscous, man. I mean, just... Oh, man. Sorry. Neck's tight. Neck's getting tight. Light red apples. Hint of cinnamon as well. Hint of cinnamon. Hey, as we are finishing up here in the next 10 minutes, I want to remind everybody about our Snuffy Chat / Super Chat system here. Everything can be found in the description below. Since we're not at 1,000 subscribers yet, you can do that through Stream Elements, PayPal, Venmo, or the Cash App, and it is a great way to support the show. Everything goes 100% to the show itself, as well as supporting my daughter, who will one day have to go to college and will need braces. I'm certain she will, because I never did. So it's just something I'm super looking forward to. Anyway, how many C's thick is it? I'm gonna go 5 C's thick. Yeah. Anyway, hey, this is for 800 subscribers. Thank you all so much. Cheers to you guys. This is crazy. I'm feeling the like 1,000 vibe already, and we're not even at 1,000. Like, I'm just ready to keep riding this high until we get to 1,000 subscribers, and then we're just gonna keep pushing, man. What else can we do? So the game is on at this point. So cheers. Let's go for it. Papa Ritter said he's not paying for more braces. That's fair. Woo. It's hot. It is hot. It's consistently been hot from the first pour. But it's pretty cherry heavy. Some dark chocolate peppered throughout. Thank you, Jim Morris. I know we're going to get there. I'm ready for it, man. I'm so excited. It's going to be great. Thank you, Heather. Cheers to you as well. And thank you, Tony. Cheers to you too, buddy. Appreciate you guys. Whew. And then everyone plays my videos on repeat while they sleep. That's hilarious. We are almost to 50. We're getting dang close to it. Daniel Kerber, thanks for posting in the ADHD whiskey group. I want to see that 100,000 silver YouTube plate next to Snuffy. That would be killer. Man, can you imagine? We get to 100,000 subscribers on YouTube. Ugh. Oh, fantastic, Chris. Oh, thank you so much for sending that. Man. So the palate on this does, as I said, drink really hot, but it's still got a really good depth of profile to it. Slightly buttery as well on the finish, but there's a good chunk of oak that is present. Ben A and DC, thank you guys so much for being here. Um, oh, okay, awesome. Um, yeah, yeah. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you for subbing as well. Super kind of you guys to show up for a little bit. Super. So, Trev said, "So ready for this 50 in the chat chug." I guess it's happening at this point. I mean, I can't say no. There's no reason for me to say no now. So, oh, that is great news for Swan. Awesome. It is about to freaking happen, Trev. Now the question here is, Ben A, thank you. The question here is, did I set this up so that I could drink this and review it on a live stream? Or did I break this out and say that I was going to review it just so I could drink it? Because I like to think that maybe I got it out just so I could drink a little bit of it, in celebration of 800 subscribers. But yeah, here's the thing: Kentucky Owl is one of the premium products that people are either going to buy into or dunk on immediately based on the fact that there are. How are you going to get your bot sub to, DC? Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, let's do this inorganically. That's how I wanted to do this. But people are. There's Daniel Carter. Going to look at this one of two ways. It's either going to be worth their time, or it's just going to be something that they consistently overlook. And either way, I'm going to have to chug it. I'm not chugging Kentucky Owl. I will chug. I'll chug some Knob Creek Cast Strength instead. How's that sound? But Ben A, it's Kentucky Owl Batch 10 bourbon. And I know that it's easy to dismiss, and I know how expensive it is too. And I'm never going to say, well, you should just get over it and pay the money, because that's just not easy to do. I've never bought a bottle of full Kentucky Owl. I want to be able to. I believe in this product. I think that it's great. I think that the person who created it is spectacular as well. And I wanted to I want to show them as much support as I can. Tony, I think it's the latter, since I didn't hear a score on the review. I haven't actually given my score yet. And Ben just cracked his last night. And it is, as the kids say these days, lit. Lit. But I know that this is not for everybody. I know that it's out of their price range. I love that. Greetings from Nashville, Tennessee. Hello, John White. Thank you for being here. Pat, your seal of approval is all I need. You haven't steered me wrong yet. Honestly, this one is this is a seal of approval from me. I say that if you can swing it, it's worth it. Not only because it's great bourbon, but because it's the last one of Kentucky Owl that Dixon made himself. So from here on out, it's going to be made by somebody else who didn't didn't have as much of a hand in it as they used to. And it is what it is. But this is going to be it's going to be a talking point for a long time coming. It's going to be a centerpiece. It's going to be something that we treasure for a good while as well. And I'm looking forward to seeing what Dixon does, of course. But this is a fitting end, I think, to the Dixon Deadman. Stoli. Yeah. Nick Foles, batch 9 or batch 10? I think I'm going to give it to batch 9, just by a hair. I think it's got a little bit more sweetness, a little bit more roundness to it. This one is kind of missing some of the toasted marshmallow notes that I love on some Kentucky Al products, and on a lot of these super premium products as well. But it's just, it's just great. It's really great whiskey, and that's where I'm going to leave it. If you can buy it, if you can swing it, absolutely buy it. It's worth it. I think it is worth it. And I know some people are going to disagree, but that's just how the cookie crumbles, buddy. That's what it is. You still get Nutty Buddy from it. I absolutely get Nutty Buddy from this. It is extremely peanut buttery. And what's awesome is 44 watching and 44 thumbs up is exactly right. Up to 46 likes now. So we didn't quite get to 50 tonight. Next week, though, hopefully we can get up to 50. I mean, maybe we'll hit it within the next, minute and a half. But 3 more for... What? So I'm actually doing a bottle chug of Kentucky Al? Is that really happening? Fine. I'll do Kentucky Al. You're going to call this stream flirting with Fitty? That's fair. That's fair. But next week, though. We're going to do something a little bit different. And it's something that I was thinking up Tuesday night as I was up very late editing the podcast and getting everything ready for this week. And I wanted to do this originally for this week, but I figured it's best to give it a little bit of time to grow and get promoted. And I'm probably okay. Dead, jeez. And again, originally I wanted it to be this week. I'm not gonna chug it. But next week, we are going to be doing a live fundraiser for coronavirus relief in India, because of how awful it is raging over there, and I know how hard it has been for those folks, and I know how hard it's been for everybody over here as well. And I want somebody just unliked the video. Fantastic. That's good stuff. But I want to do something, and I think that this is the right community for it. And so we're going to host a fundraiser for that. We'll be talking about it. We'll have some special guests on next week as well. And yeah, I don't want to go too far over because there's the podcast going on basically right now. But that's kind of it for this week's episode. I'm sorry to end on a bit of a thud, but this is so great, so much fun. And Trev, you're absolutely welcome to join on next week. But thank you all so much. Again, if you're new and you subscribed because of Matt Madness, thank you so much for being here. This has been a great week of growth, and I know that we're just going to keep climbing and climbing. Thank you to everybody who showed up here tonight. If you're watching on the replay again, thank you so much for tuning in. like the video, subscribe, go and follow on social media at My Bourbon Pod, and then last but not least, patreon.com/mybourbonpodcast is where you can become a patron of the show for as little as $1 a month. But $5 a month gets you some bonus content. Alrighty, that does it for us this week. We'll see you next week on another TIMBP Live. But until then, I'm Perry, and this is My Bourbon Podcast Live. See you guys.